Hello everyone, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Abe.
Amanda.
I'm Jay.
I'm Josh.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Avengers from 2012.
Rated PG-13 in theaters and IMAX 3D Friday.
The Avengers stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, and it's directed by Josh Whedon. The plot of The Avengers is that Nick Fury, director of the international peacekeeping agency known as S.H.I.E.L.D., finds himself in need of a team to pull the world back from the brink of disaster. The Avengers, Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America, assemble alongside Black Widow and Hawkeye to battle an unexpected enemy, the Asgardian god Loki, who commands a powerful Chitauri army threatening global safety and security. Now here's the thing. This is the first time I've seen the first Avengers movie. Yes, that's right. The first one of these I saw was Avengers Infinity War. And I saw the fourth one, so I've not seen the first two. I'm plead guilty on that one. And honestly, so I thought I'd just share that little detail, so let's get into my positives. So what are my positives with the Avengers? Honestly, for me, my biggest positive is the characters and the actors. Honestly, for me, I think they picked perfect people for these roles, honestly. They work off each other so well, actually, like Robert Downey Jr. working off with Chris Evans or Chris Hemsworth in them. And they did recast the Hulk with Mark Ruffalo, and honestly, I really like Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, actually, Bruce Banner, even, too. And they, their back and forth is, with, Mark Ruffalo's, just their whole chemistry with each other. It's really interesting, actually. I really dug the, chemistry and potential friendship they, have with one another. Another thing I do like about this film is the villain, with Loki, Tom Hiddleston, and I liked him as the villain in the first Thor movie, but honestly, there's stuff in this I kind of prefer him in. There's stuff with him in this movie I kind of prefer him as the villain in this more than the first Thor movie. Like, for example, I think he's everything you kind of would want in a villain. He's scheming, he's maniacal, but at the same time, he is actually kind of funny, actually. There's this whole funny scene, which everybody knows this scene at this point, where he's like, I am a god, you foul creature. Like, he's like to the Hulk, and he's like, I am a god, you foul creature, and I will not be buoyed by. And then the Hulk grabs him and is like, and the Hulk walks away and is like, puny god. That stuff is so funny, actually. Which, here's the thing, this film is actually pretty humorous. It doesn't take itself too overly serious, for the most part. But serious enough for an MCU movie. Also, the action is great in this film, too. I dug the action in this movie. In fact, probably has the best action out of Phase 1 of the MCU, actually, for me. The action in this, series, the action in the MCU just seems to get better and better with each film. Well, kind of, sort of. There's some hit or misses in regards to action. But for the most part, they do a pretty damn good job. There's no movie I think the action is just awful. And this is definitely one of the better films that actually really showcase how good the action sequences are in these movies. Also, the effects are really good, actually. Even though a lot of it is digital, I think the effects are really good and still hold up to now. It's like 2020 and it came out in 2012, so I think the film still holds up years later as far as effects wise and just other stuff too. Honestly, for me, that's all I got for positives, which is not a bad thing. What are my negatives with the Avengers? Honestly, for me, if I have any negatives, it would have to be the story isn't particularly strong. Sure, again, I did like the characters. I like their back and forths with each other and that. I did like the villain and all that stuff and the action. But honestly, the story, the meat, where the meat should be, isn't particularly that strong. Which, honestly, I must admit, for a film like this, I don't think it really needs to be. Because this was supposed to be the introduction of the team coming together to be the Avengers. And I think it didn't really need to be, so I think it kind of gets a pass on that. Especially since in the later films they do... Even Avengers Endgame, which I didn't really care for Avengers Endgame, but, they do evolve the story in that and actually make it much more deep in that. Make the stories much more interesting. And develop the characters much more, in the other Avengers movies, and so yeah, there's that, and knowing that, I think, again, another reason I think this film didn't really need to be, because they kind of practically set up the characters in other films. They had other films that set up these characters, and for us to really get to know them and care about them. And honestly, for me, that's really it as far as negatives go, and even then, I'm giving that a pass, considering, what I just talked about. So with that said, I'm going to give The Avengers a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Honestly, for me, this is a damn fun movie. I really loved this movie. I think Avengers Infinity War is the better one out of these Avengers movies. For me personally, I have yet to see Avengers Age of Ultron, so I'm not sure where I'm going to lie with that. But, I had a blast with this movie, and I kind of wish I saw this one first before I saw the other ones. But at the same time, too, if I haven't seen... if I didn't watch Avengers Infinity War, it would have not got me to check out Avengers Endgame, which would have got me to check out this movie. So, So, either way, I think it worked out really well in the end. So, that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.